we are here with the Dollyrots. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
So, you guys released your first album on your own, so Wikipedia says. I have to say that because Wikipedia
might be wrong.
Is always wrong. So what fears or like concerns did you guys have like releasing your first album on your own?
It was actually a pretty easy decision because we didn't have any real label interest and we wanted to make music, we wanted to tour, so you know, there's nothing wrong with self-releasing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually pretty cool because then you do whatever you want, you own it, it's, you know, you retain all the rights to it.
So is it true that you guys became a band because when George Bush won, you thought the world was going to end and so you might as well just be a band? Is that really how it started?
That's exactly how
We had a huge party. Because two of us were in college together, we had this huge party.
in Florida.
We were in Florida, yeah.
We're Nader.
Wow.
Like we had hundreds of people at our school that voted for Nader.
Oh, they're the problem.
Yeah, they're the ones who did it.
Basically,
It was
we're
this crazy
responsible
hippie
for
college,
our
and
8 years of like
Of hell.
they all
our
went Nader.
national nightmare.
And yeah, and so it was just, we kind of said, you know, what do we really want to do, you know, if things are gonna get crappy. I was like, well, I really like doing the band, and he's like, I really want to do the band, and so that was when we decided just to go for it. And
You guys are on Joan Jett's label now. Was she an influence of yours before the label at all?
definitely. I mean, I think especially as a woman, you know, just having her to look up to my whole life.
Yeah, especially as a rock artist.
Yeah, I mean, she was always true to herself, and you know, she put her own records out for a long time, and that's what Black Heart Records is.
So how did you guys go about like talking to her? Like, did she approach you? Like, what was the whole story behind that?
It was terrifying. We were at Warped Tour, and every day I would go up to the stage. We did like 6 weeks that year. And I would go and I would watch her from the side of the stage, and then as soon as they were done, you know, she would just kind of hang out. She was so cool and open, and I would just stand there and I would just give up and walk away. And I brought my CD like every day. I brought it. And then we had 2 days left. We were in Salt Lake City, and then the next day it was Denver. And I was like, well, what if we don't get there tomorrow? What if today's my last chance? And so after the set, she's standing there, and I was like, I have to just walk up to her, I have to. And my brain wasn't ready, but my feet kind of started. And then I was just standing in front of her like, and I was like, I
want to make love to a schoolboy.
I was like, I'm Kelly from the Dollyrots, and I was really awkward. She's like, oh, I love your band. And so that kind of equalized things. And I was like, you know, we have this record we finished, and Lookout folded, so we're looking for a label, and she's like, well, I really like your stuff, and we'll totally listen to it. And so
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Really, it is. She's like such an influential name. It's just so cool to have her under your belt.
Yeah.
Speaking of names, how did you guys get the name the Dollyrots?
It was a combination of just really liking bands that had like contrary words in their names, like Bikini Kill, or so we just like made a bunch of sweet words and mean words because it kind of described us at the time, because we were more like punk rock and like kind of like dirty Florida style.
Yeah, the music was really, really raw, fast punk rock, and my voice was even higher and cuter and sweeter.
And we really like old girl groups and stuff, like the Ronettes and the Chiffons, or you know, things like that.
So speaking of sweet, you guys were played on Radio Disney. Well, how do you guys feel about that? Like, did you ever think that you would appeal to a younger audience like that?
You're not the typical Disney stars.
Yeah. You're not Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, we're not playing to a stadium full of people, so that's all.
Yeah.
It's like we just it just kind of happened. That wasn't on purpose. It was just like that record. Half of it ended up sounding really poppy and sugary. Like the guy that produced that record ended up doing like
Miley
Jonas
Cyrus
Brothers and Miley
Jonas
Cyrus
Brothers.
later on. You know,
Well, that's
so,
cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So like a year later.
Yeah.
You know, so that's kind of like, it was kind of in that world before that world began.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
In a way, it is a little bit limiting, you know, writing songs for this record, because I couldn't help but think in the back of my mind, okay, they're like little 6-year-old girls who are gonna buy this new stuff, and like how far can I really go without being a disappointment or something. But then I started thinking about all the records I liked when I was like 8 and sung along to, and I didn't get half the crap I was screaming out loud. It really didn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, NSYNC has some dirty lyrics. I had no idea.
Yeah,
Digital Get Down is not what I thought it was.
Digital Get Down.
That's one of their songs.
NSYNC always pushing the
I
envelope.
mean, yeah. So I feel like we just need to be ourselves and present
Yeah.
ourselves in a way that's true, you know, to our nature. And,
Yeah, totally.
and I think that's the most important thing, is just to be a good example.
Yeah.
And not necessarily censor.
How did you guys get this deal with Kohl's to have your song on there? And you guys are in the commercial, I think,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
that was just a really funny thing. Little Steven on Little Steven's Underground Garage, he really likes the band, so he played Because I'm Awesome all the time, and it was the coolest song in the world. And this, you know, exec that works at an advertising agency heard the song and he just liked it.
That's our fall campaign. That's what he
So
said.
yeah, he's like,
Push for it.
oh, this is it. This is the song. This is the back to school song. And
We get
that
calls
was
from like
it.
our publishing. They're like, "Are you
They're
guys
like-
SAG or you know what's going on?"
Yeah.
What's happening?
What does that
Yeah.
mean?
And finally they set it up, and we're like, "Oh, okay."
It really fits with that whole
Yeah,
theme,
the
like
commercial,
looking
it's
cool. Yeah.
really,
it's funny too because, I mean, the song, it's really sarcastic. You know?
Yeah.
Like we're not really saying we're awesome. So for it to be used in a really positive way was a surprise and cool.
Yeah.
You know.
But it was cool.
But
that
it
he
was
just,
kind of weird.
The idea of the commercial was good too, because I think we were nervous at first about it. Like, we didn't know if it was going to be cheesy or not. Like department
Yeah.
store kind of like, and
Yeah.
and it turned out, and they explained it to us. They're like, "Well, kids are watching you on TV, and they get inspired to start their own band." And we're like, "Oh,
We're like,
that's awesome.
really cool.
That's what you guys want to do anyway.
Yeah.
right?
Totally.
Yeah, I
I
think,
think
it's
I'm inspired
rad.
to start my own band.
Do
Yeah,
it.
you
Tina?
should do it.
yeah,
Do
let's
it.
do
Let's
it.
do it.
All right.
We couldn't play worth the shit when we started.
We can
No.
still barely play.
We still barely play. It's all about drive and personality.
It's the
Yeah.
feeling, man.
All right, so we have to know who are your celebrity crushes.
Oh.
Oh God. You know,
Don't
Who?
say that you don't have one because
God. You
do.
everybody says that.
You have
and
posters in your
do.
bedroom, we know
Don't
it.
pretend.
celebrity crushes.
Alicia Cuthbert.
I heard that name. I'm trying to remember.
I can't think of
She
who
was on
she is.
24. And,
Oh,
and then
okay.
she was in Old School.
Okay, that's fine.
She's hot.
Yeah.
And I I think Simpson's smoking hot.
Yeah,
I think
Oh,
her
right.
sister's prettier.
Oh,
And Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. That's a good one.
He's my man.
Go ahead.
I've always had a Drew Barrymore crush. But then there's Johnny Depp too.
Oh, Johnny
It's
Depp,
kind of
yeah.
those two.
No, he's a
The
jerk.
sexiest
That
man
guy's
alive. You can't help it.
Yeah.
You kind of look like Drew Barrymore. Have you ever
Really?
been told that before?
No.
I say prettier. I think
Awesome.
you're prettier.
Maybe she morphed into her over the years.
Yeah, maybe my liking of her.
ugly. Single white
Yeah.
female.
From
Idolizing
E.T.
her.
time.
Actually, it's funny because Kelly answered an ad for a roommate, and it was actually Drew Barrymore. She was with a roommate. Kelly kind of moved in and started looking like her, wearing her clothes.
I like less conventional looking girls. Like, I think Maggie Gyllenhaal is cute because
cool.
like she's
Yeah.
like
She's not
Yeah.
the typical, like,
She's-
beautiful, on a magazine cover type girl.
yeah, she's not
Yeah.
even that like, you know, she's not that cute
She's just,
really.
like,
she's
weird
just
looking in a
weird.
good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Interesting.
cute and stranger than fiction.
So, have you guys had any like crazy fan experiences or anything like that?
There was a guy that
It's just nice.
he worked
Yeah.
for an airline and he flew to almost 20 shows in different cities.
Wow.
And I would see him and he never said hi to me or anything. And then
It's like you and Joan Jett. And one day
Yeah.
he'll say hi to you.
Well, no, but then I remember sitting outside a club in Cincinnati or something, and this guy was sitting next to me, and I tried to make small talk because I was feeling really like bored and lonely, and the guy next to me was like, ugh, you know, acted really weird, and then finally he sends an email, and it was this guy who had gone to 20 shows, and he never could say hi. And he was like, and then that day you sat next to me on the curb. I couldn't even open my mouth, and I was like, I thought you were so rude. I think you, like, I thought you hated me or something. But then I guess he got embarrassed because I haven't seen him since. It was strange, yeah.
He's delicate. He was a
delicate flower.
Maybe
social
he'll see
delicate
this.
flower.
Maybe he'll see this.
Yeah, I want to
maybe
see
he
you
can
at
die her
shows.
fan.
Come back to the show.
Yeah.
Miss you.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much. We had
Yeah,
a great time.
thank you.
Have a good show
you.
tonight.
Right on.
Thanks.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
Yeah, thanks.